Imagine making a decision so shocking that it outraged your fans, left critics baffled, and changed your entire legacy. That's exactly what happened to Bob Dylan in 1979 when he suddenly abandoned his Jewish roots and embraced Christianity. For years, no one knew the real reason. Was it a true spiritual awakening or something far more unsettling? Now, the truth behind Dylan's transformation has finally come to light, and it all leads back to one night in an Arizona hotel room. What happened there will leave you speechless. Born Robert Allen Zimmerman on May 24, 1941, in Duluth, Minnesota, Dylan's early life was shaped by hardship. His father, Abram Zimmerman, worked for Standard Oil until polio forced him to stop. The family relocated to Hibbing, a small, quiet mining town where young Dylan found solace in music. Radio was his escape, and the sounds of Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard captivated him. But it was Little Richard's electrifying stage presence that left the deepest mark. Dylan idolized him so much that in his high school yearbook, he boldly wrote that he wanted to join his band. Determined to make a name for himself, Dylan taught himself guitar and piano, forming bands and performing wherever he could. One of his earliest groups, the Golden Chords, played rock and roll covers at school dances. For a brief time, he even adopted the stage name Elston Gunn. But rock and roll, while thrilling, didn't satisfy him. He craved depth, music that told real stories. That hunger led him to folk music, a genre that would define his early career. In 1959, after a short stint at the University of Minnesota, Dylan took a leap of faith. He dropped out and moved to New York City in January 1961. He had one goal: to meet folk legend Woody Guthrie, who was hospitalized with Huntington's disease. Dylan played for him, soaking up every lesson he could. Through Guthrie, he connected with Ramblin' Jack Elliott, another folk singer who helped him navigate the vibrant Greenwich Village scene. The village was alive with poetry, music, and political movements, and Dylan quickly became a standout. By September 1961, he had caught the attention of the New York Times, which called him one of the most distinctive stylists in folk music. He wasn't just another singer. His lyrics were raw, poetic, and powerful. Songs about civil rights, war, and loneliness resonated deeply with audiences. Then, his big break came. John Hammond, a legendary producer, signed him to Columbia Records. But his debut album in 1962 was a commercial flop, selling only 5,000 copies. Columbia executives considered dropping him, but Hammond fought to keep him. Dylan wasn't discouraged. He kept writing, and 1 year later, everything changed. In 1963, the freewheelin' Bob Dylan was released, featuring songs like Blowin' in the Wind and A Hard Rain's A Gonna Fall. These weren't just folk songs, they were anthems. Blowin' in the Wind became a civil rights movement rallying cry. The album catapulted Dylan to fame, and suddenly, he was being called the voice of a generation. But that wasn't a title he wanted. Dylan despised being labeled, and he was about to prove just how unpredictable he could be. 1965 marked a turning point. Dylan shocked the world by going electric with his album Bringing It All Back Home. Folk purists felt betrayed. His performance at the Newport Folk Festival, where he played an electric guitar, sent shockwaves through the audience. Some cheered, others booed. At a concert in Manchester, England, a fan infamously yelled, "Judas!" Dylan's response? He told his band to play even louder. He didn't care about expectations. He was forging his own path. Then came Highway 61 Revisited, featuring Like a Rolling Stone, a song that shattered music industry norms with its 6-minute runtime. Critics hailed it as one of the greatest songs ever written. Dylan was now at the peak of his career, but fame came at a cost. He was exhausted, constantly touring, writing, and battling public scrutiny. Then, in 1966, disaster struck. Dylan was involved in a near-fatal motorcycle crash near Woodstock, New York. The details remain murky. No ambulance records, no official hospital reports. Some believe the crash was exaggerated, a convenient excuse for Dylan to retreat from the relentless pressures of fame. Whatever the truth, he vanished from the public eye, retreating into a quiet life in Woodstock. But in 1979, Dylan made his most shocking move yet. He declared himself a born-again Christian. Fans were outraged. Was this a genuine spiritual shift, or something else entirely? The answer lies in a mysterious encounter in an Arizona hotel room that changed him forever. The moment had arrived. All eyes were on the red carpet, cameras flashing, reporters whispering, everyone waiting for the grand entrance. And then, there she was. Dressed in a breathtaking ensemble that had the entire industry buzzing, she made her way down the carpet like a vision. But behind that dazzling smile, a storm was brewing. Just hours before, the whispers had begun. A shocking revelation was making the rounds, something so unexpected that it had Hollywood reeling. Was it true? Could it be possible that the perfect facade was finally cracking? Insiders had hinted at tension, at unseen battles behind the scenes. The pressure, the expectations, the relentless pursuit of perfection, it was all starting to take its toll. But no one had expected what came next. A close friend, speaking anonymously, revealed that the star had been struggling for months. She puts on a brave face, but behind closed doors, she's been dealing with a lot. It's not just the industry, it's personal, and it's heavy. And then came the breaking point, a leaked conversation, a cryptic message posted and then deleted. Fans were left scrambling for answers. Speculations ran wild. Was she stepping away? Was this the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's brightest stars? Her team scrambled to control the narrative, but the internet was relentless. Theories spread like wildfire, each more dramatic than the last. Some claimed betrayal, others pointed to exhaustion, but no one knew for sure until she spoke. In an emotional statement, she finally addressed the rumors. Her voice, usually so steady, wavered as she revealed the truth. It wasn't just about the industry, it was about rediscovering herself. I've given everything to this career, and somewhere along the way, I lost sight of who I am. It's time for me to take a step back and breathe. The response? A tidal wave of support. Fans flooded social media with messages of love and encouragement. Fellow celebrities rallied behind her. The industry, often ruthless, showed a rare moment of compassion. And just like that, a new chapter began. No longer just a star, but a person reclaiming their story. Hollywood may thrive on drama, but this time, the biggest twist wasn't a scandal. It was strength. What's next for her? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The world is watching, waiting, and ready for her return, on her terms.